Hello everyone and welcome to another preseason AFL Supercoach video where today I'm going to be discussing taggers. Now, not every team tags. Alright, so we're going to go through which teams tag, which teams don't, going from last year. And to be getting that info, we're going to be going through DFS Australia. It's where I've got all my info from, so yeah, check that out. They also do a lot of other Supercoach, data as well. So yeah, give them a look. Now, the purpose of this video is not necessarily to see who we don't start, who we do start, but what I want to look at is when we're looking to upgrade our teams, like what players can we target. So I've discussed the buys already, but we'll go through some examples here, see if we can pick them up at a bargain price. Okay, so yeah, to upgrade our teams, we're going to need some of these prices to come down, hopefully. So yeah, make it easier to upgrade our teams. So as we can see here, like right now we're on Adelaide. I'm just going to be going through what last year's data was. So yeah, last year, Adelaide, they only tagged in 3 different games, but two of those games, like they actually had 2 taggers in the same game. And also, with the tagged games, doesn't necessarily mean that they were tagged the whole game. Say for example, I don't know who's one here, Sam Berry. He might have tagged Dunkley in the first half and Lockie Neal in the second half, something like that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, so oops. Oh, why'd I do that? Oops, sorry about that. Alright, so what I've got here, I've got the teams here. I've got how often do they tag last year out of 23 games. Like anything under 5, like 4 and under, I've got in green. Anything between 5 and 9, I believe, I've got in yellow. And anything 10 plus, well, I've got in the red. Alright, so, or anything 8 plus, I should say. Alright, so starting off, I've got, and I've also got who was actually doing the tagging as well. Alright, so Adelaide, 3 out of 23 games they tagged, all different taggers, so yeah, well, we're pretty safe. They're pretty safe from a tag target. Brisbane, they only tagged 3 out of 23, so they Jared Berry. Carlton, they tagged over half their games. Kennedy and Hewitt pitched in, I think, for 1 game, but their main one was Chincotta, and he also does forward tagging as well, so yeah, he's one to watch out for. Collingwood, Essendon, Fremantle don't really tag that much. Geelong, they have a range of taggers, Atkins, Bowes, but the 2 main ones, I believe, O'Connor and Blitzarves. Gold Coast didn't tag. GWS, now I think Ward tagged for 1 game, and then the second half of 2024, we had Bedford, who was a pain in the butt. Seemed like he was tagging all my players in the second half, so go away, Bedford, but he's doing a job for his coach. Hawthorn, McGuinness when he's in. They also have Connor Nash as well. He's one to look out for. But, if McGuinness not named, then, they're pretty safe. But I'll just put them as a yellow for now. Melbourne didn't really tag. North, Port, they tagged a little bit. Got Shields and they've got Drew for Port Adelaide. I think Drew might be out injured for the first little part of the season, so one to watch out for. Richmond didn't tag. St Kilda, now their main tagger was Windhager in the second half of the season. And then I think he got either injured or suspended. And then Ross Lyon moved to Stocker and Hunter Clark tagged for a game each, I think. So, even if Windhager doesn't play, Ross likes to tag. We've got Sydney. Now, Sydney's the big one. James Jordan, he can tag midfielders. He can do a forward tag on a running defender. So, one we definitely got to watch out for. And West Coast and Western Bulldogs, they didn't really tag. Now, onto the taggees. So who was tagged from these teams? Dawson once, not really. I'm just going to go over the major ones here. You can read these if you like. But we've got Neil 8 times. He was a tag target. It's not also. I'm not going to say that these guys can't break a tag. Like they're good players, so sometimes they might break a tag and still score well for us. But a lot of the time tagged, their scores goes down. You got Cripps and Walsh 4 times each for Carlton. Dacos 7 times for Collingwood. Merritt 7 times. Sarong 6 times. Jordan Clark twice with a forward tag. Forward tag on Stewart 3 times. This is all according to DFS Australia. Anderson 3 times. Whitfield here twice as a forward tag, and I think they were both James Jordan. Day, Moore once each. Petrarca, Oliver 3 times each. LDU, Sheasel once. I reckon Sheasel might be a bit more of a tag target this year. Butters 5 times, and even Jason Horn-Francis. Steele, Taranto once. Heaney 3 times. Goulden 2 times. Warner once. And Bulldogs. Bont, Dale, forward tag twice. I believe at least one of them was Jordan and maybe one Chincotta. But one here also, Ed Richards, twice as well. So I reckon, Bont, pretty hard to tag. And if he gets tagged, he can just go forward. But Richards, I reckon he'll be the main man that they'll target for a tag. Alrighty, so looking at this, we're going to go through some individual players. My apology, it looks like I've absolutely thrown up on my screen here. Not sure what I ate. A bit of greens. But anyway, enough of that. Alright, so I haven't actually had a look at this, so we're going through this together. So we've got Lockie Neal, who's playing as Geelong and Sydney, so he'll likely cop a tag in both of those games. Alright, so what we can do with these players. So what's he priced at? I think it's like 630 or something like that. Whatever it is. So if he scores low these 2 games, then these 2 games here, he's going to have a high break even, which means he could potentially come down in price. So, maybe we could look at him as our first upgrade here, around 5, 6 or so. So that's just the sort of things that I'm looking at right here. Carlton. So we've got Cripps and Walsh. I've got Cripps and Walsh in this example. I could probably add Chera as well. But they've got quite a good run in terms of tagging up until... Well, look at this. We've got round 9, 10, and 11, and then they've got the bye. So, if we're looking to pick up players, this here, round 12, I don't have Cripps or Walsh, but just looking at this, like these guys both get tagged, right, in these 3 games. They could be really cheap, like around by the time, the North Melbourne game hits, and then... if you look at the rest of the Carlton season, they're pretty much going to be tag free. Well, we've got Port Adelaide here as well. They have Drew, so pretty sure that should be in yellow. Wait, let me just fix that up. Alright, that's better. Whoops, I actually had the formula to the text containing Port, not PA, so that's why. Anyway, so... pretty good run home as well. Don't play St Kilda, Sydney, or GWS. And... Sorry, I was just trying to think of... Wait, why there's only 3 reds here and there should be 4. There's 4 teams that I've got in red. Oh, that's right, they're Carlton. They don't play against themselves. Whoopsie. Alright, now, moving on. Nick Dacos. Now, not only Nick Dacos, he's been battling that plantar foot injury, but he's got 2 potential tags here. Actually, maybe just 1, just because Drew might be injured, and they might not tag. So GWS say he'd definitely cop a tag from Toby Bedford. So if he, his price is going to rise or drop about here, but he still could have a high break even around this time. So they've got Carlton, Sydney, so Chincotta, and then potentially Jordan, right, or even like a row bottom type Sydney like to tag as well. All right, so if you around here again, around the 6, 7, he could be slightly cheaper. All right, so look at him, as an upgrade target. A lot of people not starting him, so that'd probably be an ideal time to get him in our sides. All right, next we got Zachy Merritt. Now, he got tagged. What did I say before? 7 times. So I would say Hawthorn might tag him, Drew might tag him. He hasn't got a bad run to start off with, and then he'll cop the Jordan tag in round 9, and then Chincotta round 13. He's probably another one that's... Yeah, when can we pick him up? I actually don't see him dropping at all until, say, around this time here after the Sydney game. Alright, but we might want him in before that, or you might even start him. This video might even convince you to start him, although he does have round 4 bye. Alright, so next we've got Sarong and Clarks. Now, I've got the Freo boys together here. They've got Geelong first, so you might cop a Blixarves or Atkins or Bowes tag here in round 1, and then he'll probably cop the Jordan tag. So I'm not actually starting Sarong, and you could also, actually, I don't think Brayshaw will get tagged. But, if you're looking to upgrade to Sarong, then they've got round 8 St Kilda, then GWS. And yeah, you can pick him up probably just after his bye. Then they cop St Kilda, Sydney again, and then Carlton. But, Sarong, I think he's a good enough player to, break at least some of these tags. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Jordan Clark here I've got here just because he was forward tagged twice. So that was both by Sydney, I believe. Could have been Sydney, could have been Carlton as well. Actually, I don't think it would have been Carlton. But Sydney, they play twice, so round 2 and 13. So let's just say, I'm just going to look at the Sydney round 2 and 17. So yeah, just be wary of that. All right, Tom Stewart also, he could cop a forward tag. That's what the F's here for. F for forward tag, in case you were wondering. All right, so again, I'm only really looking at Carlton, who they might send Chincotta to him. Where are they? Sydney. Oh, they don't play Sydney until round 23. So, Stewart might be alright. If he gets... only annoying thing with him is the bye here. So, if he's scoring well up until his bye, you might want to get him in about round 4 because, other than Chincotta here, you won't have a forward tag. Well, he might. Things changed. Teams' plans from 2024 to 2025 might change. We might get a tagger that we haven't even heard of. But just keep an eye out on that for Stewart. If you like what you see up until round 2, he's back to his good role. Yeah, why not have a look? All right, so he's on my radar. Anderson. Has a pretty good run up until maybe North Melbourne tag him. Sydney round 7. And then towards the end of the year, Carlton, GWS, both in a row. But reason why I'm looking at Anderson is they've got a pretty good run at the start of the year. He's one that I'm actually considering for my team, just because he has that sort of high ceiling. And just looking at this, Essendon, West Coast, Melbourne, Adelaide, North Melbourne, Richmond. Geez, what a start that is to the year. So keep an eye out on that. I wouldn't be looking to bring him in though. All right, we go down to GWS. Let me just scroll the screen down here. All right, so they don't play against Bedford, so we don't have to worry about that. But if you're looking for and Whitfield, actually I should write here. Forward tag. He was tagged twice last year, and they were both by James Jordan. And they'll play Sydney twice, I'm pretty sure, like being the two Sydney teams. So, round 8 here and round 20. Other than that, I don't really think you have to worry about a tag too much, although that could change, like I said. We won't find out until, the in-game. Tom Green. I was going to say Toby. Whoops. Could cop a Winhager tag here. It's all pretty spread out. Then a good run here up until the bye between round 12 and... till 15. And then from round 17, it's all pretty spread out for Tom Green. Will Day. Now, a lot of people have him as like sort of that mid-pricer. He might be a target, or maybe could be Newcombe, but I'd say Day. I might want to stop Day, or I'm not sure. But we'll find out. Round 0, yeah, you'll probably cop a Jordan tag. I've got more here as well, just because I think he'll be a top 6 forward as well, and he does stints in the midfield as well. They've got Carlton, then GWS in a row, and then they've got a bye. Then they got a clear run without these red teams. These teams in red that like to tag. Yeah, so who knows? We might even get him. It's something just to consider. We've got Melbourne here. So first up, round 1. No, maybe not so much Petrarca to start off with, but Oliver. A lot of teams have Oliver. They've only just really got GWS and maybe North Melbourne, Geelong to start off with. So yeah, Clary should get a pretty good run. And then just before the bye as well, actually in the first round of the byes, are 11 and 12, Sydney and St Kilda. And then Carlton, St Kilda, all in a row. But I think everyone's going to have Clary, so yeah, not really too worried about that. All right, LDU and Sheasel. Now, they didn't get tagged very much, but Sheasel might become more of a tag target as he gets better and better. You got Sydney and Carlton around 4 and 5 early on. But other than that, not really too much here. So a pretty good run without taggers. And then towards the back end of the year, yeah, we can see Carlton, Sydney, St Kilda, and GWS, all 4 of them. So something to keep in mind. So, hopefully they go to LDU because I want LDU to be cheaper to pick up after the round 12 bye as an option. All right, so scrolling down here. All right, we got Butters and JHF from Port. Now, Butters was tagged, what did I say? Was it 6 times? Let's have a look. Butters 5 times and Jason Horne-Francis 1. Alright, so yeah, just during round 4 and round 6, St Kilda and Sydney, I'd say at least one of them would get tagged. And then during the bye rounds, so out of 3 out of the 4 of the bye rounds that they're playing in, they actually could be tagged. They got GWS, Sydney, Carlton, all within the bye rounds. All right, so hopefully they can get a score in their best 18. All right, and then Carlton to finish off with, to around 23. Okay, so we've got Jack Steele, Sinclair, and Nasai Wanganeen Malira, possible forward tag. So I'd only look at Carlton and Sydney here. So Carlton round 9. And Sydney, yeah, they only play them once. Okay, so that put forward tags. So I've got Nasai Wanganeen Malira in my team. I think he'll be a good option, just because I think Sinclair will play more midfield, especially with Mateus Philippou out early. And Steele, he can, I think he played a bit injured last year. He's one that I'm definitely keeping my eye on, just because they've got that good around 13 bye here. But in terms of tagging, I reckon they will go to. They could go to McRae as well. I probably should have put McRae in here as well. But yeah, GWS, Carlton. Yeah, they only play those sides in the red once each, so that's pretty good. Alright, so yeah, just I'll be keeping an eye on the man of steel. We've got Heaney, Warner, and Goulden. They all copped a tag. 3 for Heaney. I think it was twice for Goulden and 1 for Warner. They've got that annoying bye, so I don't think anyone's starting with them. Or you might, but because we got Mills as well, that's going into the middle. Yeah, they also only play the teams in red. Oh no. Oh wait, no, because they're one of the red teams too. Sydney. They're the ones that like to tag. I'm like, when's Heaney going to cop the Jordan tag? No, he's not going to cop it. Maybe at training, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, pretty good run here. With it, it's so good when you're, a team that tags. You don't. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. All right. So yeah, just looking at this, yeah. I reckon all these players are good enough to break tags as well. So after his bye, I'll be looking at Heaney, get him in my side. And then finally, we've got the Western Bulldogs. Yeah, Dale, he could cop a Chincotta forward tag. Richards, he could cop attention as well. And Bont, I don't think they could tag the Bont, but mind you, they've also got George Hewitt in the team as well. So they could tag twice at once. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Then they've got St Kilda, GWS, 2 teams in a row that like to tag. And then, yeah, it's pretty spread out after the bye. So three teams they play. Okay, so yeah, well, that will do for the video. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, sorry, I was completely. I only actually did this morning. I was thinking of doing it for ages, but actually I only did it this morning. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you let me know if you'd like to see more of this type of stuff from me. And also in the description, remember to join my Supercoach League and join the Podmaster League as well, where you can win a Supercoach ring. Also, if you like what I do, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.